Hello everyone, it's me, Ian63. I just finished Donkey Kong Bananza from the last two videos you watched, and oh my gosh, just an 11 out of 10, no, 100 out of 10 video game masterpiece. And here's going to be my long minute review on Donkey Kong Bananza. Just an amazing game, honestly, and just overall amazing, and a masterpiece, and yeah, and stuff like that. So first of all, let's just get down to the actual game. Donkey Kong Bonanza is a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey, taking place before the events of that. Example would be, a spoiler. Okay, I'm not gonna do a spoiler anymore since now this game's been out now, so I'm gonna just do a spoiler free. This game takes place in the same universe and timeline as Super Mario Odyssey, just before it. And proof of this is New Donk City that we see at the end when King K. Rool is revealed and stuff, and yeah, stuff like that. So that's the story, and the story is that Donkey Kong, is in his mind. Then he sees Odd Rock, which turns out to be Paulina, who is 13 years old, a teenager in this game before Super Mario Odyssey. And then after that, Donkey Kong works with Paulina and stuff, to save her from Void Kong and stuff, or Void Company, who's trying to use her for the banana podium, to spawn like some magic root and stuff that K. Rool uses it to turn in some gold titan thing, whatever. And yeah. So after that, basically, Donkey Kong and Paulina work through a lot of layers and stuff. They go through the, Kong, elephant, snake, ostrich, and did I forget one more? Oh, zebra, elder gods, where it grants them the powers and stuff. And after that, Void Kong gets destroyed, and then it's revealed that K. Rool was under that banana podium. K. Rool wakes up, and now we go through, a nostalgia rush of Donkey Kong Country 1, flashbacks and stuff. And then finally, we make it to K. Rool and stuff, and thus creating one of the best final bosses ever in a video game. Up there with Super Mario World, Galaxy 1 and 2, Tropical Freeze, and Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, Odyssey, and Mario Wonder and Mario and Luigi Brothership, and yeah, stuff like that. And after that, basically now you get two endings. There's the regular ending, which is Paulina says goodbye and wishes DK a wish. But then, spoiler alert, it turns out Paulina actually came back for DK. And then there's a special ending, which is basically you have to collect a lot of bananas 100%. And then Paulina can perfect her singing. And this is where the game officially is a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey, where you can basically see Paulina, singing singing, wearing that same hat seen as Super Mario Odyssey. And yeah. So now, that basically marks the end of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that would lead up to Super Mario Odyssey, where Mario would meet up Cappy and stuff. I'm gonna say, does Cappy have some kind of relation with one of the Elder Gods? I'm not sure. I'm sorry for that garbage theory, but it's kind of something cool to think about. But I don't know. I know that's not true. But the way how we use Cappy in Mario Odyssey is very similar to how we use the power-ups in Donkey Kong. The only difference is that, like, in Donkey Kong, there's, like, a time limit on how you can use this. While in Cappy, it's kind of, like, permanent. You can use them as much as you want. I mean, I don't know. I know that theory is pretty bad and stuff, and yeah. But anyways, if we go to Super Mario Odyssey and New Donk City and stuff, you'll see that Paulina basically, that's the same Paulina we see here, says that I think one of her lines says she got captured. So I think that is, making Super Mario Odyssey a sequel to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, it should be noted that Mario Odyssey was made back in 2017, so this game wasn't made until this year and stuff, so we had no really clue of what the lore of Super Mario Odyssey was about. It's kind of very similar to The Messenger and Sea of Stars, where, The Messenger came out first, we had no clue of what the world was about until Sea of Stars revealed everything. Same thing with this game, honestly. So, yeah. So anyways, let's get down. That was the story. Overall, very amazing. 10 out of 10. I love the, prequel and sequel thing to Super Mario Odyssey, one of my favorite video games back in 2017. And this is my favorite video game in 2025. How ironic. Both are 3D platformers. And yeah. So that was overall amazing. So now the next thing is the gameplay. And the gameplay was just amazing. Like I said, this was like a mix between a 3D platformer and a 3D hack and slash. Like God of War, the original trilogy, Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Bayonetta, Hi-Fi Rush. Let's see, what other hack and slash game I forgot? Probably forgot another. Oh, okay, Ninja Gaiden, and yeah. Oh, and also Shinobi. So yeah, all those hack and slash games that that reminded me of the when Donkey Kong used his fists and got the power ups. And the power ups from the Elder Gods, like the Kong power up, the Zebra power up, the ostrich, the elephant, the snake. All these power-ups were just amazing. The Kong just being a powerhouse, turning Donkey Kong into the Incredible Hulk and Doomslayer. The zebra being basically Donkey Kong is just Sonic speed now and being fast as the Flash. The ostrich power-up, which allows him to fly and stuff, like the wing carrot from Super Mario 64. And the snake power-up giving him an extra double jump to boost and stuff. It's kind of functioning like Super Mario 64's like crazy wall jump speed run breaking mechanic. And also the elephant power-up, which is basically Luigi's Mansion's Poltergeist, but now you can just suck up, but there's also a time limit, because otherwise Donkey Kong's trunk is going to get tired. And yeah. So those are the power-ups in the gameplay. They were definitely amazing. And the boss fights were amazing in this game. Honestly, I think these might be just the best boss fights Nintendo has produced in a platforming video game, honestly. Like, I never knew, like, why Donkey Kong got, like, honestly, the better boss fights in his 2D games compared to Mario. I love 2D Mario boss fights. They're just as fun, honestly. They're easy, but they're fun to, enjoy. But Donkey Kong definitely requires more challenge, in my opinion, due to his different moveset. But I really hope a 3D Mario can have these kinds of boss fights, because, honestly, yeah. I mean, I think this technically is a 3D Mario, if you think about it, because it takes place in the same timeline as Super Mario Odyssey. So, yeah. Now, the only thing I want to get out of the way, could the Broodals be connected to the Void Kong, honestly? I'm not sure. I mean, they're rabbits and they're monkeys, so I'm not sure if there's any connection between the two, but they function very similar, honestly, since you have to, like, defeat them. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out this whole, like, sequel to prequel lore and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. And now the graphics were just gorgeous and beautiful. Obviously, they're amazing, and I expected them to be, so yeah. 11 out of 10, fantastic. And the music, my god, just amazing. 100 out of 10. That Gangplank Galena remix was just, oh my god. K-Roll did it again. 2018 with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and again with Donkey Kong Bananza. Just amazing, honestly. And yeah, pretty much. And another thing to get onto it is also, the... Okay, I talked about the story, gameplay, graphics, and music. What I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So basically, it's also the Amiibo and Nintendo Switch 1 feature, how you can use any Amiibo and you can spawn any rock, which is just straight up just generous for Nintendo. I already said this in my, Donkey Kong Direct video, Bananza Direct video, but now that I finished playing the video game now, I have my own thoughts on it, what it looks like, so yeah. But the idea that you can put in any Amiibo is just crazy to me, honestly. Like, I never seen that generously from Nintendo, or never utilized them to the Amiibo to the creative extent, but that's the best creativity use I ever seen from these Amiibos. And also the fact that you can play this on Switch 1, someone can connect with the Switch 2, and you can remotely local play, co-op play. It's just, what the heck, Nintendo? That's just too nice from you guys, honestly. But the fact that this game can actually run on Switch 1, that's actually pretty crazy. I think this was originally meant to be a Switch 1 title, but I think they delayed it for Switch 2. And understandable, honestly, because, I don't want something rushed. I want them to take their time on a masterpiece like this, and they really delivered. And yeah. So, alright, before I end off on a final farewell note, well, not yet, because I'm going to 100% the post-game and stuff, and collect everything and see the actual ending of Polina. But, basically, to sum up, is that, like, with Donkey Kong Bananza and stuff, is that, basically, I just love how this game, tied in and intertwined and interconnected with Super Mario Odyssey. It's very amazing, and I definitely really love it, honestly. Again, it's very similar to how, Sea of Stars interconnected with The Messenger, which made The Messenger a lot more better now. Same thing with this game. I think I'm going to go back and now finally play through Super Mario Odyssey again, just to catch the references, because now I have a good reason to check out Super Mario Odyssey. Because now it's going to feel really crazy now that I can play this game, I can play that game again, and I want to see, the interconnection and intertwine and stuff, so yeah. But I love the shared timeline and stuff, and yeah. So before I end this off, I'm going to end this off on one final farewell. Well, not yet, because I have to 100% this game. Is that Donkey Kong Bananza needs to win Game of the Year 2025. I don't know if it's going to, because I think the Game Awards are more biased towards PlayStation than to Nintendo, Xbox, and indie games. But you know what? I think there's hope that this game can win, honestly. I mean, look, Astrobot was a 3D platformer. It won last year, 2024. So I think this game right here is going to win 2025. And it has to, because this shows that, this is just a fun, good quality, 100 out of 10 video game masterpiece. And I think this has to win Game of the Year 2025. And I'm rooting for it, so yeah. But anyways, that's my entire review of Donkey Kong Bananza. An absolute 100 out of 10 video game masterpiece, honestly. thank you, Nintendo, for just making a great video game and stuff, and I appreciate you, Nintendo, so much for that. I don't like the prices for the Switch 2 games, but this is a justified price. $70, this price is justified, honestly. If Nintendo does more risky games like this, like maybe a new Wario Land, a new F-Zero, a new Star Fox, a new Golden Sun, then maybe I can justify the $70, $80 price there if it's risky, like, experimental, original games. But if it's a remake and port, then no, not justify, unacceptable. But yeah. But thank you, Nintendo, honestly, for making an amazing video game and stuff, and yeah. So, farewell, Donkey Kong Bonanza, the main story mode overall, and yeah. I'm going to 100% the game and do the post-game content, and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, farewell, Donkey Kong Bonanza, thank you for the 100 out of 10 memories. Game of the Year 2025, and farewell, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Thank you, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Farewell.